a stenographic record were to be made of all words reaching the listener, he would find that it would often be fragmentary and trivial. That would not, however, prove that the conversation did not come from living beings, nor that there was not at least one intelligent person among them. That scientists engaged in psychic research have similar experiences proves nothing more. It seems to be a common opinion that the evidential value of such psychic communications, even under the direction of a skillful scientist, cannot be very great. But there are ways of knowing. Requests the guest to put his signature on a card. Then he tears the card in two, gives him one piece and keeps the other. That gives him a double proof of identity. When he comes for his money, he must first give his name and then produce the piece of card that fits into the ragged edge of the piece the clerk has retained, the two together making the whole and restoring the signature. It's one of the simplest but most satisfactory proofs possible. Neither piece of that card alone is intelligible. If one piece should be lost and others should find it, nobody could read it or make anything of it. Nobody could guess the name unless he had the other piece. He only knows about the part he holds. He may be a thief and may earnestly desire to use what he has found to defraud, but he is helpless because he has only one of the two parts it requires to make an intelligible whole. This is the principle involved in identity by cross-correspondence. Part of a message is written through one medium and part through another medium at another time in another place, and neither part presents a complete statement or has coherence until it is fitted into the other part. And that prevents a medium who is dishonest from manufacturing a story that may be more or less plausible. We are by no means wholly dependent upon scientific investigation for evidence that the dead still live. Hundreds of people are sufficiently sensitive to have some personal knowledge of the matter. The number is far beyond what it appears to be for two reasons. One is that the average person fears ridicule and keeps his own counsel about his occult experience. The other is the feeling that communications from departed relatives are too sacred and personal for public discussion. Tens of thousands of people have seen demonstrations at spiritualistic seances while possessing little evidential value from the scientific viewpoint, nevertheless have a legitimate place in the great mass of psychic phenomena. But more convincing is the evidence furnished in hundreds of homes where some member of the family acts as automatic writer or medium. The most convincing evidence is not always scientific evidence. What can be more convincing than the evidence furnished in one's home by members of the family? There is much such evidence obtained both through mediums and by automatic writing. Automatic writing, that is, the control of the hand of a living person to record the thoughts of another who has lost the physical body, is perhaps one of the least objectionable ways in which communications have come from the astral world, and to it we are indebted for some useful books with interesting accounts of the life in the unseen regions. Here, of course, as elsewhere, discrimination must be used. For the wise and foolish, the useful and useless are to be found side by side. In accepting or rejecting, one must use his common sense just as he does on this plane in separating the valuable from the worthless. In such matters, we should not lose sight of the fact that the living dead are unchanged in intellect and morality. The genius here is the genius there, and the living fool is not different from the dead one.